Welcome to Conversations. I'm your host, Anthony E. Thompson II. Today, I have in one of the pretty girls of the industry. She started like I started. She started from internship, hustling, grinding. She was like moving like one of the guys out there. There wasn't many women that grinded the way she did up the chains in the industry. She gets so much respect from me. She family to me. I dog her out like a sister, whatever. She gets these jokes. It's my people. Introduce yourself and also your business, sweetie.
Hey, Anthony. Oh, my God. What is the problem? I can't. Listen, you are my guy. My name is Chauntel Nelson, owner, CEO, project manager extraordinaire of the Clever Curation Group. It's nice to be here today. What's up?
Let's get to it.
You're pushing buttons. This is
we about to just give people some of that real, that sauce, and we're going to talk about humble beginnings and then how you are executive and the things you're doing in the industry today. You worked with so many high-end people. We're not going to just name drop all show because that's kind of corny. But we're going to drop a few. You feel me? So they can put respect on your name. But what I want to talk about is I started off as an intern. I started off at 12 years old working with
Damn.
Yeah, I started at 12.
You know that interview with Kevin Hart and Don Cheadle?
Yeah.
Be like, damn. That's how I feel. Go ahead.
But no, real talk. Like, I started at 12. And
wow.
I started off doing Jeans and Kool-Aid, doing parties for the Scream tours. So I was doing the after parties and the meet and greets. And WGLB really got behind me. Coco, Foolish, all them. They showed a lot of love. And I was doing with, like, Epic Records and them. Then from there, I went on to working with R.J. Rice at around 15, 16, and was in Southfield with Slum, working with Slum. That's how I met, like, the Kanyes and John Legends and working with all those people. So we got it from the mud, like, from the beginning, like, in the studio, getting stuff right, learning the business, putting flyers out on cars, the late nights, not getting $1. Then I learned how to really hustle. Mm-hmm. So let's get to it. Let's hear about your story, though. People know my story a little bit. Let's hear your story from how you started.
I got the same humble beginnings. I was probably about 16.
Sweet 16.
I started as an intern at radio.
Which radio station?
In the Spud era.
Spud,
yeah. 105.9,
yeah.
the Radio One Day. So, yeah, that's how I started. And my first day at work, believe it, this is a crazy ass story. First day at work, at the 105.9 was the 105.9 Summer Jams, just randomly.
That was your first day?
Yes. Like, how is that even?
They didn't give you no direction.
As an intern for your first time, how's your first day at the job? I went in to fill out the paperwork like on a Thursday, and Summer Jams, my first day was like on a Saturday.
Yep. Fact.
So they like, all right, bet. You finna be just getting the water. You're going to be doing like, helping us as a floater. I'm like, so my first day, I met this heavyset guy, cool in the motherfucker. He looked like everybody knew him. His name was Drew Rives. I met this guy. I was about 17 years old. About 16, 17. I can't remember. It's a little fuzzy. It might have been 11th grade, something like that. But I met this guy, and, like, he was the Def Jam rep. I didn't even know what that meant, like, at the time. He was the Def Jam rep.
I met him around that same age.
All I knew is that everybody was coming up there. It was like all of Rockefeller except for Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like Memphis Bleak. It was Beanie Siegel. It was Rail. Remember him, the singer?
Yeah.
It was Chris and Neve. It was Freeway. It was everybody you could think of on the rock except Jay. And this particular, it's actually a really funny story. You want me to get into it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's funny as hell. So this particular day, this is my first day at radio. Bam. I met this nigga that work at Def Jam. He said I can work with him. Cool, because I'm already singing this at elevated level to this radio shit. Like, you people just work in radio, but this the nigga that work at the label.
Mm-hmm.
Pew. I'm going over here. Everybody, I'm coming to death row, basically. Like, put me on. You know what I'm saying? And so we just had, like, a relationship of, like, just, you know, we just got in the paint and, like, did what was required. So, like, that's kind of how I got started on my very first day at 105.9 Jams.
Which is dope because Drew do not mess with everybody.
Oh, I was his first
he don't
assistant
come
ever.
out for everybody.
Oh,
he ain't
no.
gonna. You know
Not
how
a
long
soul.
I knew him before he came to an event I had?
I didn't know this, though. I had no clue.
Drew be like, good job, keep going, good brother. He give you that, and then he gone.
Yeah, but I didn't have no clue, and it was something that it just really meant. And if you go on my Instagram page, you will see like a conversation with Drew and Spud and I, like, cause we all met, and it was my first day, and they remember me as a little guppy coming up, trying to figure out even like what this industry is. I just always knew that it was a job, and I wasn't just always at the party. Mm-hmm. Like I knew that there was a additional meaning to whatever this lane is that I was creating. You know what I mean? Even before I knew that it was a lane, that you were, like, the fact that we were influencers before the notion of that even came about. Like,
what's so weird is, like, you just know you're drawn to it. It's just something that's pulling to you. It's like you just know you're supposed to do it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got it. You like, I remember my mom be like, why are you at the studio on your weekends during the off season, not football season? Like, you're there till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, why aren't you playing with your friends more or something? Like, this is what I do.
Yeah, and it's a real job, and it means something, and it takes skill to be able to navigate this space. And so even as a whole 41, we've had talks, like you said, with family. We've had talks even up to a whole 41 I just turned a few days ago. Even still, I have to get those nuggets of information, nuggets of, like, affirmation. You know what I mean?
I love your family, but you're going to stop putting our age out there.
I mean, I'm just saying, this is a job. It's a career. It is a passion, and it's something that I will do until I'm 99 years old, if I could. You know what I mean? I don't care about nothing else except for the culture of what we're doing. So,
and behind the scenes, you can. And that's something, like, I just like to teach the kids, like, the transferable skills. Like, besides just being on the mic, you know, you need accountants in the industry. You know, you need sound people. You need lighting techs. You need executives. Like,
and be as many of the things for yourself first before you do. How many times did you have to, before you learn how to do editing and videography, you might have just only knew audio. You might not have had no visual skills or whatever. But when you realize, like, oh, shit. Can I say that on here? Oh, shit.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. Oh, shit. Let me figure out how to edit my episode down to what I'm trying to do, because I can't be waiting on Pookie and them who's supposed to call me back, and then I got to be on their time. Like, when I talk to you about, like, being a one-woman show or one-man show, I have to
you know what's
everything.
funny? That you said that? My director of photography is stuck in Houston. His flight got delayed or whatever, and he's stuck there until late tonight. I said, the show must go on. Then my intern calls me. He had a death in the family. Nobody at the studio is like, oh, we're going to cancel interviews. I said, no. Don't you know who I am?
I know how to push
We're going to
play.
keep it
I'm an
we're going to keep
engineer.
it moving.
And you did what you did. See? Look at that. And so that's what matters. That's the kind of stuff that, like, the fundamentals, the grassroots, like, you know what I mean, theories that we learned from those summer jam days. Like, it meant something.
You got to try to learn every aspect, not just so you can do the job, but also so you can know how the job should be done.
Facts. And if you don't do it, you're not going to know how it should be done. If you don't have any practice. I just can't stress enough. Not that anybody asked me, but if you were to ask me my opinion on, like, industry stuff, if you don't actually get in there and roll up those sleeves and actually do, so that you can see what your mistakes are and see where, oh, I need to improve in, like, X, Y, and Z areas. You finna be through. These kids, listen, the people that's running, it's a bad bitch or a goat nigga turning 18 every day, B. Like, if you don't figure out a way to come up with how you should be able to do your stuff, so I just urge everybody coming out, high school, college age, like everybody that's trying to do what they trying to do, like creatives alone, learn several different avenues. Thank me later.
Man, I always get on her about, see, one thing my girl do, she be killing me, she from the D, she be killing me throwing this New York stuff in there. If you say B in my studio one more time, we gonna fight up in here.
Every day, B. Every day. But it's true, though. And those New York stories, and I hate to say it. Actually, I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't hate to say it. I appreciate every level of, like, lesson and, you know, encouragement that I've ever received. But, like, to work in this space, like, in a New York City, in a Brooklyn, or in a, like, it's a different kind of challenge, and that requires a level of resilience that you have to be able to, like, get around, just because it's a lot. It's only a few people in this market in Detroit, in the city of Detroit, that have worked in the industry at an actual record label. Am I looking at the right camera? At an actual record label with a W-2. You wasn't no volunteer. You actually worked.
She is flexing
at that motherfucker.
Okay, I'm not gonna let her do y'all like that.
What I'm saying is, do you know the lessons in which we had to learn in order to be able to navigate that space? And I'm only saying that because it is important to be able to apply that same skill set to this Detroit area.
It is disrespectful. Like, say we've worked for the majors, and I got W-2s, Live Nation, and all these major corporations working in operations, and then people act like sometimes like you don't know what you're talking about, or I'm like, I do this every single day on a very high level.
I think it's about. So it's 50-50.
And it's the independent folks that be doing it.
It's 50-50. What have you done for me lately? We can talk about, like that evolution and being able to move along with the timeline in which you are, rooted in. It matters. You do have to be able to kind of like evolve with what's going on. But you know how grandma just always had those nuggets of wisdom that stood through the test of time? I think that's what separates, like, the men from the boys. You know what I mean?
I think that I figured out one thing from a conversation one guy was trying to have with me. I think they lack understanding sometime where we are career-wise or what we do, because they haven't seen it. Because I had one guy's like, what do you do? Like, don't nobody know what you do? I'm sitting here like, dude, I have a long career. I'm like, do you know the labels that you love? You know the stuff that you love, like Rock Nation? They're a subsidiary. They're up under Live Nation. So I think I know what I'm talking about when I talk about, like, touring, artist development, all that, because I do work with some of the biggest stars every freaking week. You know, I think I've worked on, like, multi-million-dollar tours, and you haven't even done a tour the cost of their rider. So sometimes it's funny to me when they be trying to tell you, like, I'm going to do it, and I'll be like, dude, you don't know what it takes to get to this level.
Well, this is true. I agree. But no, it's not a but, it's an and. I agree, and I do admire how you have now begun to, like, dig more into the story of what you're doing and showing everybody. It feels very much like with some of the things that are coming about and developing for you, that people will have a better understanding of exactly. See, one thing that's always frustrated me, and I think you and I have been the same in the thinking of, like, how dare you? Like, almost like, how do you not know what I got going on? Like, haven't I shown you? And for me, it's like, sometimes people just really don't. I've realized people really don't get it. They don't know the level of work and how many years. I think Keke Palmer just did a post about this the other day, where like people's expectations of you to be here at this level of at the age of where we are. It's like, do you realize we've been in the game for 20 years? People don't see that part because a lot of the stuff that we've done, the storytelling element, the content element wasn't there. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, now, what you're doing, and to be able to, like I know right now nobody can tell you shit about what you do, can they? Can't nobody tell you shit about what you do.
The thing is, for me, was you get a lot of times you take on the characteristics of who your mentor was. My mentor was R.J. Rice, so I was taught almost like we don't take pictures with celebrities because that's corny. You know, you just let them live and breathe. We the business, so it's all like we get the bag, we put up in the fly whips. We got more money and look doper than the artist, and we pull up, we do what we do, and we out, and everybody don't know you. Who needs to know you know you?
Will know you.
And that's how I always moved. So now it's like
it's
sometimes, it's a different
awkward,
space. Now people are like, who you? I used to be the guy in the room, make it happen, I'm out. That's it. But now the game is different now, and they want to know who the CEO is.
But I'm excited about that part, though. I'm excited about that part because think about it, like, to be able to have people to see who you are. The same way you get excited, like, I want people to know you, sis.
I want people to know you. I ain't want to be known.
But we feel the same way, like, man, shout out to the people that I know are working and have worked. So we enjoy. You know how many people are waiting to support you? Like,
yeah,
we all just waiting. Cause
y'all don't have to
excited.
wait. You can go to atnetwork.tv and purchase today. You don't have to wait.
But yeah, people are ready, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy that you had me on your platform today. Like, you didn't have to, so it meant a lot.
Well, you have had me on your platform.
That's how we met. Isn't that crazy?
And actually, that's not. Remember, I told you that when we was there. That's not how we met. You don't remember. Because I could break it down right now, but Drew remembered, though, because everybody's around. But again, I guess being a quiet guy, just like, what up, and don't say much, didn't do me any service.
Oh, man. I'm going to need you to bring it back. Tell me.
We actually met at it was a concert venue. It was a long time ago. You had on the...
We was probably 17, probably.
Facts.
We were probably about 17.
Because you had the T-shirt on, the radio station T-shirt. I'll never forget the jeans. And we was the only one of our age. You know, only person that was like close to our age was LaRon. And we was doing, I can't remember whose show it was, but we chopped it up for a second. And you kind of clowned me because I was all like, we was talking about an artist, and then there's an artist I said I ain't really like, and then you broke that artist down and was kind of like, oh, you playing. You ain't really up on this music.
Oh, no. Seriously? That's hilarious. I don't doubt that was me.
You let me have it a little bit, and I ain't talked to you no more when I saw you for a while.
Wow,
I mean, it was some years I ain't talked to you no more for a while. I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm going to leave her alone.
And look, the last time I was here, we was doing your grand opening here at this very studio, and we were able to watch you to, like, manifest what your dreams are and really create a space for this creativity. So, look at that.
And we just getting started. I mean, we about to do that $50 million boy next.
If we locked in,
we locked in.
Ain't no switching up.
Hey, it is what it is. So tell us more about I want to hear about Clever Curation first. Let's go into that and some of the events and what exactly your company does. Because we already know you did your thing at the labels, but you branched out and you're doing that. We might get to what you're doing with the kids right now, but I want to really get to your company. So let's break down, because especially the young girls, I want to hear how you really grind it and what your company is.
Okay, so let's dig in. So the Clever Curation Group, everybody know me as CC. You might see me putting up double C's. That's an ode to Chanel, because if you know me, you know I love Chanel. But anywho.
All y'all women do, and we ain't buying them. So I'm just playing.
You still can, though. We ain't mad at it. But nonetheless, so the Clever Curation Group, we actually specialize in 3 levels of service. That is PR, So we have relationships in radio, of course, digital spaces, branding. So brand management, that could range anywhere from helping you to create your logo, to website development, to opportunities to help you to figure out like what you want your branding to be like, how do you want to capture the minds of the masses, and so on. It's people that need actual structure around that, and somebody to be able to execute, because too often we have these big grand ideas, but we never actually sit down and put it on paper to figure out, okay, well, what does this look like? And the question of what does this look like in marketing and branding is really like an essential thing, because really, what does this look like? Is this recognizable? Are people going to understand what it is that you do by looking at a simple image or a logo or whatever the case may be? So think that in your mind when you think about branding, like what does this look like? And then the third level of service that we offer is event production. So one of the events that you may know of, like I produced Kanye West Sunday service when it came here, just because Def Jam hired me to do so, and it was one of the best, most remarkable events that I've ever curated, I would say.
And that speaks volumes, because usually when you leave a company like that, they don't reach back like that to bring you on. So that tells what the imprint and the impression you left on that company.
Yeah, you know what? The relationship that I created and developed with Drew will stand the test of time. Like, everybody knows in this city, like, they know. You know what I mean? Like, they know that we've worked together on so. And then when we worked together, it was like a magical thing. And that's not anything you can just get with a fly-by-night intern. Like, there has to be a chemistry there to where you can work together, because it was not easy working for a guy like that, I would have to say. But nonetheless, so event production, that's the third level of service that I offer. And I can create any sort of event that you can think of, whether it's on a small scale, it could be intimate, to a large scale event that involves audio and visual production, engineering, and so on. So it's been quite a ride. I've produced live artist experiences, I'll call it, performance platforms, documentaries I've produced. So it's been quite a journey in this industry, and kind of figuring out over the years, like, oh, you have to actually charge people for that. That's a service. And I didn't get that until I started to work on that Angela Yee documentary.
And I like the fact that you perfected your craft before you went out trying to charge, and you were able to deliver such an outstanding product. Well, let's talk about, because that relationship with Yee, y'all are really tight also, because, you know, I look at y'all more as business partners the way y'all roll. So tell us more about that relationship and the things that you guys have created together.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and this goes to show, like, for anybody that's interested in manifestation, figuring out, like, what it is that you need to do in order to get to your next level in life. I have not ever experienced an opportunity where somebody was like, hey, here you go. Every single opportunity I've ever had, I had to insert myself, like, nah, I'm finna do this. Like, those words, I'm finna do this, ... Like, that is what was the opening door. And so when I met Angela, you know, I had already known about her for quite some time. Like, we had all known about lip service. Not too many of us had actually had access to, like, satellite radio at the time. I don't know if you did, but we kind of didn't, you know what I mean? But we all knew about, like, the Foxhole, Melissa Ford, and, you know what I mean, Jamie Foxx, and, like, these Eminem's channel, these channels that were popping up on this, like, different radio station.
You might only heard the station for, like, for 3 months, and then that first subscription would go.
But that just goes to show you the level of experience that this woman has. And so when the Breakfast Club started, I was actually working for iHeart in marketing at the time, and I knew, like, oh, this is a show, I really like it. I remember this lady, Angela Yee. She was interviewing a local artist at the time. Her name was La Brittany. And I think Lil Brittany was just on like Love and Hip Hop or something like that. And she was saying like, yeah, I'm going to create like a documentary about women in hip hop in Detroit. And I'm like, no the fuck you ain't about to create no documentary for women. I'm a woman in hip hop. What's up? So I reached out like, period. You know what I mean? I knew how to get to. Yeah. And I went ahead and reached out, and lo and behold, she gave me a call. She reviewed my resume and was like, hey, I know you wanted to help out. I was about to volunteer. Like, I'm not funny like that. Like, I'm just trying to be a part of the culture. She was like, I kind of need somebody to, like, produce my shit, like, run point, like, on the whole thing. And it just evolved. She kind of sat me down like, hey, I see that you have skills in this area, and this area. Let me show you a different way in which to move. And it was January of, so imagine me starting in this industry in 99. It was January of 2021. It was January of 2021 that I conceptualized my business, thinking with Ange, like how to put all the skill set that I've learned over the years at Def Jam and Sony BMG and iHeart and all of these different places and different positions. How do I package that? Like, what do I do? Like, how do I capitalize on the skill set that I've built that everybody doesn't have?
And the access that you had.
Exactly. And so once we did that, I did that in January 2021. I didn't take my first official legal government taxable payment into January 2022. And that is for everybody to understand and know it takes a long time to get to the level. That's all I'm saying.
And she'd have talked to her boy, though, and not been dissing me like that. I'd have gave it a game,
I didn't know, but I love the journey that I went through. I love the fact that I had to learn to be able to execute things and then to know, like, hey, this is a position that you hold that everybody can't say that they can do.
You've done things in excellence, and you've done things. I've seen you always grind. I'm talking about you will sweat your weave out and be outside, videographer, doing whatever. Period. We be at concerts. You know, sometimes you end up getting wet and you got wet right with us. Like, period. That's what I always respected about you was like you wasn't old prissy with it. You was just like, yeah, I'm a girl, but we got to get the job done. Yeah, and I always respected that about you.
Drew wasn't playing like, girl, what? Is you on the team or not? Yeah. Either you putting these posters up in the dead of winter, outside in front of Legends, the network.
Yep. We was up in there.
Or you at home sitting down. Nobody's checking for what you got going on. And I just always kept that, and it just, it just always mattered to me. It always mattered, and I just knew then, at the tender age of 17, that this is a career, it's a field of interest for me, and I just knew that I would do this until I was 99. I knew it.
You respect the game. I respect the game. I respect the culture. I love the entertainment industry. I love the media industry, and like forever, I will be a part of it. And I just want you in 30 seconds to tell us about the work you're doing with youth right now.
Look at you, and actually understanding what I do. So right now, lots of us have 9 to 5s, but this is something that's parallel into my personal impact journey. I'm a community impact coordinator at an organization called Teen Hype, and that organization focuses on youth development. Lots of what they do is based around like media and the arts. We actually have an annual play that we do with Mosaic Youth Theater and things of that nature. So it's a very, very rewarding opportunity to be able to expose like our youth to plans that are going to help make Detroit the best place to raise black and brown children. That is what we're looking to do. I want to make sure that I'm a catalyst to do so and a voice to be heard in this community. So, yeah, that activism piece is very, very strong in my roots.
And we thank you and we love you for all your work you've done in the city. You continue to inspire more than just little girls. You inspire guys and people of all cultures. And we just thank you for coming out today. 10 seconds, drop your social media.
You can find me at Chauntel the One. Actually, that's my name on all my social media platforms. So Instagram, Twitter, You can even find me on Facebook for all of you old heads that are out there. I still be on Facebook sometimes, y'all. But Instagram at Chauntel the One, CHAUNTELTHE and the number 1.
There we have it, a true Detroit player. We love you, girl. Continue to keep doing what you're doing. We still, Aaliyah is our princess forever. We always talk about that. And peace, Detroit, and all over the world global. We love you.